Many of you that have been with me on a coin show before know I'm a big fan of the Franklin half dollars series. The uncirculated and the proof, but more so the uncirculated. And that's because 1980 just destroyed uncirculated coins up to that part in history. Today, finding high-grade coins is almost like finding a needle in a haystack. And now NGC has taken it up a notch with this brand new holder that's been catching everybody's attention. And tonight, we have our first Franklins. Let's take a peek. It's called the Original Bag Series. And it's kind of a mimic on top of the sports card industry back in the 1990s. It's brilliant, in my opinion. And that is, the label is a special design label that has a bag fragment, an original bag fragment in the label, which just adds a little extra flair and originality and rarity to the series. But on top of that, tonight, we have also two very special Franklins, S-mints in 64. So we're going to get to a spot in here in a minute or so. We're going to forget the label, even though it's significant and pretty cool. It's the coin and the grade that is even more so impressive at this point. While we're on the reverse, by the way, you see states across the top. Below the E is like a swiggly, like a hook for the bell. It's not. They put the mint mark right on top of the bell, so that is where the mint mark location is on the Franklin half dollar. So the Original Bag Series is a brand new series launched about 6 weeks ago by NGC. Very selective. Only certain coins are allowed to go into this because it ties back to the Original Bag Series itself, the original bag fragments. And we're showing just an example in the backdrop here of an original bag, how these coins were delivered by the U.S. Mint to the various federal depositories that would be the ones that would send them out to the banks, etc. And the bags themselves are authenticated as being appropriate for the coin involved. It's a lot of fun, and it's a great looking holder. But tonight we're talking about two specific coins inside of all that. The Franklin series is 35 coins deep, right? It started in 1948, went all the way through 1963. Every year, Philadelphia struck a coin, so there's 16 of those. Then we have 2 years they did not. Denver, 55 and 56. So they have 14. Now we're up to 30. So that means if there are 35, there are only 5 S-mints. 49 is the first year, and 54 is the last year. No 50s. So there are only 5 San Franciscos, and they're some of the prized coins in the entire series. Here is what makes it even more fun. These are certified 64s, everybody. That's the key. Inside of the holder and all the other fun stuff that my competition, they're selling the holder at a 20 to 25% premium because there are so few of them that fit this exact category. This coin came from that, basically, is the storyline, right? Versus it's just a 64. Well, being just a 64 is okay in my book, because here are the numbers. 1953, they made 4.1 million San Franciscos. 1954, they made 4.9. And 54 was the last year San Francisco made half dollars for circulation in our history. They haven't made a half dollar for circulation in 75 years. That's the last one. But now if you go to NGC's population report and look at all the labels, it doesn't matter what the label is. It matters what the grade is. How few of the grades are there? And tonight, updated numbers as of today, the 53S is 3489. Less than 3,500 coins known this nice. And that's 64, 65, and 66 added together. And then we have the 1954, 6,235. Think of those numbers. Now think of modern day collectors. The last decade. What are some of the highlighted coins in the last decade? Well, the first that comes to mind would be the S-enhanced reverse proof, right? They made 30,000 of them, but there's just under 10,000 of them in high-grade condition, and they're $3,500 to $4,000. Right after that, they made the V75, right? The special privy mark on the Silver Eagle, 75,000 of them, about 15,000 of them in high grade by NGC, and that is a $700 to $800 coin. How about the 2021 Holy Grail, which is the Carson City Morgan in high grade, 69 and 70. There are over 20,000 of those, and the 70s sell for in excess of $500. And then, time out, we're going back in our time capsule 3/4 of a century back to 1953 and 1954. We're going to grab a couple of rolls of beautiful Franklins. Nope, that doesn't work here. We're going to find 53 and 54 Franklins that came from original bags, i.e., where we can tie the history together to make the process work. And there's only 3,489. There is only 6,235. Wow. Here's the other side to this. I haven't even talked about my competition because at $69.95, they can't touch us even for a coin in a capsule, uncirculated. Not a graded or certified coin like the ones you're seeing. They're at $106 on the 53 and $75.50 on the 54. Those are for 60s, basic uncirculated coins, beautiful coins to put in your albums or to finish your collection. We have some of the finest struck, still to this day, certified, and by the way, they're in the original bag series as you've seen them here in the holder. And we're under, not over, where our competition is for lesser grade coins. It's just something special. Guys, let's put a 1-minute clock up. I'm down to my last 7, 8 of each coin. If you are visiting us via the web, and that's where you kind of put your stuff into your shopping cart as the night goes along, and you check out later and you verify what you want or don't want, and thank you for all of that. This one's not going to be there in about 10 minutes. They'll all process through. It'll be a sellout. Thank you all for that. And then we're going to keep our fingers crossed. More of these other years' mints come forward in this series. I've only seen 4 or 5 Franklins right now. It's a very special, very protected product. And again, 3/4 of a century old. Oh, by the way, I did find a 53S certified. Just under $200. A 64, by the way, the same grade we have here. We're at $69.95, your choice. If you want one versus the other or both, thank you. I've seen many of you doing a number of different things there from the orders that are processing through. But join me. These are NGC 64s, everybody, the last 2 S mints. And tonight we have them priced like no other. Oh, and by the way, the original bag series on top of it, that's definitely the AVC way.